Hi, I'm Nick and this is the TBT channel. Welcome to today's video. Now today's video is going to be based around my trip to the gun shop today. It happened. I went again. This time I went purely to take back the Smith & Wesson Victory revolver that I borrowed last time. You may have seen the video on it. It's a 1942 revolver, made during the Second World War, and it was issued part of the issue for the Second World War. Lovely revolver, a bit too expensive for me, so I took it back today and thanked Roman for letting me borrow it. This is from the gun shop I go to is Guns & Co at Chevanceau, just off the N10, half an hour north of Bordeaux, half an hour south of Angoulême, easy bargain. So today I took that back, and that was really all I was going to do, honestly. Honestly, I wasn't going to buy anything. Why didn't buy anything? But anyway, other things happen. We'll get to those. The first thing I want to show you is an air rifle. It is a FX air rifle. It is a FX Maverick air rifle. Now you will see that this is equipped with a pressure gauge here. And if I turn him around, also with a pressure gauge here, both of which read 0 because all the air pisses out of here. Now I've repaired many PCP air rifles before, including, I've had FXs and I've fitted my own regs and things like that. Roman has told me that they have had parts from FX and replaced parts and seals in this area, but that it still leaks. And he pumped it up and showed me, and sure enough it is leaking from there. I'm going to be doing a strip down of it. I'm going to be going inside of there. I'm going to be videoing it. But in the meantime, please, if you have experience of leaks around this area, get in contact with me and tell me what I might be looking for. It will just give me a heads up before I start in there, and it'll be really appreciated. But it is good that I have a FX air rifle, because I may have mentioned in my last video I need a PCP air rifle. I am, if not desirous of one, I am requirous of one for a very exciting day-night / thermal scope that's coming for me to test. I'm going to be testing it on various things, but because you guys mainly use air rifles, you need to see it working on an air rifle, and I need to find something suitable, and something black, lumpy and ugly is really what it's going to go on. I think it's what it's going to suit best. I don't know whether to get an FX. I've had FXs in the past. They've been no more troublesome than other PCPs as far as leaking, but I do like the smooth twist barrel. Other ones I've been looking at have been the Reximex, which is called the Throne here, and I think it's the Ixia in the UK. If anybody has any experience of Reximex air rifles, or these, good, bad or indifferent, please let me know, because I have reached out, there's a term, I've reached out to a couple of manufacturers and said, have you got any loan guns, because I really only want to use it for a couple of videos. But I'm actually considering buying one, because with the chickens now, rats will happen, and air rifles are the best thing for rats in a confined space. So yes, an air rifle that will be featured very shortly, and we'll be looking for problems in this area and ways of solving them. So I'm just going to pop this down there very carefully. I am having physio, including exercise, on that shoulder now, so I am allowed to move it. I just have to be very careful. So what else happened at the gun shop today? Did I buy a gun? Do you think I might have bought a gun? What might I have bought? I bought this. I did. Spoiler alert, I bought a gun. This actually, physically, is mine, paid for, bought, and everything. It is a 2.2 rimfire. And the reason I bought a 2.2 rimfire is I had a good 2.2 rimfire. I had a CZ 455, I think it was, in a custom stock 2.2. Absolutely brilliant. Put the bullets exactly where you wanted it to. But I sold it to my mate and left myself with, well, Karen's got a 2.2 bolt action, but hers has got the target barrel on it. It's not threaded, it can't be silent, so it's not really suitable for in the garden. And I've got my little fold up Chiappa little Badger, but I wanted something for target stuff. So I wanted a good, accurate base rimfire for proper accuracy, and hopefully to take it out at long range as well, because that looks a hell of a lot of fun. And I've been looking at a lot recently, and if you're on the same forums as me, I am sorry if I've been bothering you with what about this and what about that and what about the other, but this has been on the shelf for a number of weeks and I have been eyeing it covetously during that time. So what is it? Let's get it out and have a look. It's a Bergara, as you can see, or Bergara, I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm not even going to pretend that I do. It's a Bergara BMR, and the BMR stands for, can't remember now, something micro rifle. It's basically small, and this one is the carbon version, which, because of my shoulder, heavy weights on that arm is still not a thing. So I thought I'd get something. Oh look, we've got an instruction book. Something like, it might even tell me what BMR stands for here. Safety warnings, safety considerations, never lean it against the wall before first firing. Now here's the thing, we'll come back to that. It doesn't tell me what BMR stands for. I did look, I did know, I've just forgotten. And because I've forgotten, I can't remember, which is quite obvious when you think about it. Let's get it out and have a look. Let's get it out and have a look. It is rather natty, I think you will agree. By natty, I mean good. I'm going to get this out and I'm going to get a couple of bits out. Then I'm going to lose this box so that we can carry on without it in the way here. So also in the box, apart from instructions, which I have already removed for safety reasons, I have hand sticker. I don't know what I'm going to put that on. Various bags. I have the bolt for the bolt action, which is a bonus. And I have two magazines, one 10-shot magazine and one 5-shot magazine. I think that's all. Let's shut that down. Oh, close that and make that safe. Oh, here, look what it says on the bottom of the box. Our barrels make the difference. That's why I got a Bergara. I've been Bergara. I don't know. I still don't know how you pronounce it. I've heard very, very good things about the barrels on this Bergara rifle, and at the end of the day, with the rest of it, it's going to come to naught if you can't actually get a bullet to come out in a straight line as it goes away. Now, another thing about this, I'm going to dry fire this, warning. Another thing about this is the trigger. Now, it's a single stage and it is the same as the Remington 700 trigger. So it's interchangeable, so you can get custom parts afterwards. And just, it's a delight. It's crisp. It's light, there's no hint of creep, and that is exactly how it comes from the factory, which is what I was going to come back to here, because I just saw with my eyes a thing here about adjusting the trigger. The BMR features a fully adjustable trigger mechanism. The trigger pull weight is preset at the factory at around 1.7 kilos, 3.7 pounds. The possible adjustment is between 1.3 and 2 kilos. That's 2.8 pounds to 4.4 pounds. Now, I don't think I'm going to muck around with that. It's just one Allen key in there and you can change it on the hoof. I'm not going to muck around with that because I can tell you that actually feels just lovely. I actually, before coming downstairs, my wife has seen this because I tried to sneak in. It didn't work. What you bought? So I showed her and she picked up the rifle. One other thing, right? This is the carbon. That's carbon fibre on there. Synthetic stock. This weighs £5. It is very, very, very light, which is a great thing. And she liked that as well. She thought, well, it's light. And she, not teasy, she wasn't teasy. When we went out to buy our first, or my first rimfire rifle, we got the HW60 or 66, I can't even remember which one it is. That's hers now, the 2.2 rimfire, because it's got a record trigger. Now, I was looking at other rifles at the time that were cheaper as my first rimfire, and she came along and she tried them and thought, that's horrible, that's horrible, that's horrible. She tried the Viroc. She knew the Viroc name anyway. She tried it. Said, well, that's the one you want. I said, yeah, but it's twice the price. She said, I don't care, I want it. So that's what we got. So when I brought this home, she went, oh. And I gave it to her and she racked it and tried to trigger it. Oh, that's nice. So that's good. It's got the seal of approval from her. Now, what we have a plastic stock. Now, you can call it ballistic polymer if you like, but it's plastic with a big old thick, quite soft butt pad there. Now the butt pad isn't adjustable, but it is soft. Yeah, it's a 2.2 rimfire. There's not a lot of recoil going on. We've got Weaver Picatinny style rails on the top here. We have a shrouded carbon barrel which is free floating inside of there. If you ping that, it's not connected, it doesn't touch anywhere inside of here, so it's free floating. And this has a match chamber inside of there, and Bergara claimed that's why the accuracy potential of this rifle is so good, because of that. We are going to find out, and you're going to find out with me on this one. So the stock itself, we've got a couple of panels here for grip. They're just plastic. And I have noticed on the top here, you've got the moulding marks where it was made. You can kind of feel those. I will be taking some ultra fine abrasive to that to get rid of those, just because I know it's there. It's not going to be in the way in any way, shape or form, but I know it's there and it will be gone. Now, you'll notice that somebody has, I don't know if you did this as a child or if your children or even grandchildren do it now. You get a mouthful of paint. Must be safe paint, mustn't it? They wouldn't have made us put Dulux in our mouths at primary school. But anyway, you get a mouthful of paint and a straw, you go like that, and it goes everywhere. And I think we used it to do Starry Nights or fireworks or something when we were at school. It looks like somebody's done that to this stock, because it's got all these little dots everywhere. They describe it, I kid you not, they describe it in the blurb as tactical speckling. So there you go. It's very tactical. I do like a bit of tactical speckling. What I'm going to do is, I've got a scope I want to put on it, and we're going to have a look and see what mounts fit, and we're going to do that. Oh, it is threaded for a moderator, but you won't see me put a moderator on this today, because this is threaded 1/2 inch by 28 TPI. As opposed to the 20 TPI of UNF. So all of the moderators I have here are the wrong size. I've ordered an ATEC Wave off of a shop about 20 minutes ago, so it should be here in a couple of days. That'll be here in the post in a couple of days. But we'll put the scope on today. And a bipod. I'm going to put a bipod on first, because that'll make putting the scope on an awful lot easier. And it's a shame you can't fit this. Honestly, it feels so light and it feels so lovely. It's a very, very good thing. Just going to undo that a little bit more to get a bit more gape on me bipod doobry there. So when you're putting the bipod onto a sling stud, you undo this nut here enough until the jaws widen enough to go around your sling stud. Then you make sure it's all square and neck that down. Now, this isn't a tilt bipod. This is simply I think it's probably 6 to 12 inch or something similar bipod, which is all I need, because this will probably be shot off the bench and it looks like the wife's going to be using it as well. Now the scope I want to put on here is this one here. It's my Redfield Revolution, which I had been intending on putting on my 243, but I still haven't found the right things from the block. Now it's got a rounded block, the back's higher than the front, and there's little doodads that you screw down onto there that you put your mounts onto, and then you can mount the scope onto that. I haven't found any yet. I'm getting a bit frustrated with that because I really do want to use the 243, and this is the scope I was going to put onto it, my Redfield Revolution 4-12 by 40. It's a very lightweight scope and very good quality glass. It's a 25mm tube, which helps to reduce the weight, and because this is such a light rifle, I don't want to spoil that by putting a bloody great heavy lump of glass on the top. So I have a selection of mounts here of the Weaver style, and I think I'm going to go with these ouch middle ones and try them to see how they go. Now when I put these on, you're going to see I'm going to put this right to the front. That's because I know there's quite a lot of eye relief on this scope, and I don't want to mount it too far back at the beginning. So we'll just nip that up there, and we'll put this one here. Can anybody tell me what I should have done before putting that onto there? I'll tell you what I should have done before putting that onto there. I should have taken the saddles off the top of the mounts. Just put that there so you can see what I'm doing. We've got the saddles on the mount, so we need to undo all 4 screws there. By the way, thank you to everybody who contacted me about guns I need for when I come over to the UK next month in May. Lots and lots of people have offered to lend me a Tempest or a Senior, and I really do appreciate your offers, but somebody has found a shop that has Tempests described, a number of them described as spares or repair, for £100 each. So I'm actually going to be getting one of those just to see what happens, because at the very least at £100, if it's not repairable, I can't imagine it not being repairable, but even if it were not repairable, it can't be, you know, there's a lot of spares in a Tempest, so I don't think 100 quid's that far out on price. So mounting these quite far forward for the eye relief for the Redfield Revolution scope. Now if you remember, when you are selecting mounts for your gun, the way you should do it is by shouldering the gun with your eyes shut, then opening your eyes and seeing if your mounts are the correct height. So let's quickly do that. Right, okay, a little higher would have been better, but only by a fraction. Let's try again. That's pretty much bob on. That is absolutely wonderful, wunderbar. So the mounts are in place. Did I tweak those? Did I tweak my mounts? I tweaked that one, so this one must be twack as well. A little more twacking on the one on the back. So mount our scope. Ow. Thusly, I like to have an equal distance between the turrets here and the mounts themselves. It's not necessary, it really isn't, but I like to. I don't know if that's going to be the correct place, but that's where I'm going to start it off at. It isn't necessary to really screw these down. If recoil is making your scope move, you need to deal with a recoil more than a scope. If you over tighten scope saddles on scope mounts, all you do is damage your scope, and that's not a good thing. So that one there, that's 4 of those. Another saddle there. I'm really looking forward to the moderator arriving. I bought also, while I was there, I bought a brick of Norma TAC 22 subsonic. I've not tried those before, but the price was good, so I figured I'd give them a go. I usually use Ely subsonic hollow points, but we're going to give those a go. It's going to be a case with this one, because I want this to be quite precise for a rimfire. I am going to be experimenting with ammunition. I have maybe 10 brands or something to experiment with upstairs already. I have lots of 2.2. It's one of those things with 2.2, you walk past the shop, you know, oh, I just get 500 while I'm here. Because you never know when they might run short again, which they did a couple of years ago. So it always pays to have a few thousand in stock. So yeah, we're going to try those. It may well be that the most accurate, I nearly said pellet, the most accurate bullet isn't a subsonic, but I'm hoping we find one that is accurate, because it would be nice to have it quiet so we can use it in the garden. Now, need to ease off those just a little bit. That's not quite loose enough for adjusting. There we are. So what we want to do now is raise that up. Ka-chang, there's a pellet tin, and just have a look through there and line up the crosshairs. Distance is good. Line up the crosshair so the crosshair is, the vertical crosshair is pointing straight down to the, we've got a little marker here, safety marker. When you put the safety catch on, sorry, let's do that again. Spot what I did there. There we are. Got a little safety marker there. I can't show it any better than that. And just get the vertical line of your scope pointing straight down towards that, so you know that it's central, it's in line with the chassis of the gun. And that can be best done from further back, where you can see the scope illuminated as the reticle illuminated as a light line facing downwards. That's the right distance. It's further a little. Yeah, that's the correct distance, and that's vertical, so I want to tighten that up there. I could probably bring this mount back one line to get the distance. I'm not gonna. Right, when tightening these down, when they start to go a little bit tight, you just go in a clockwise direction like that, and each one a little nip, so that you're not over tightening on any particular screw. And it doesn't need much. The short end of the Allen key and just the pad of your finger gives you plenty of torque for how tight these need to be, which isn't very tight at all. And that is it. He is on there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bore sight it first, which if you don't have, or if you haven't done it before, you don't have a bolt action. You remove the bolt from the gun, and upstairs I've got a shooting bench next to the kitchen, and I've got a lamp post about 400 meters away. So what I'll do is I'll prop the gun so that I can see the head of the lamp post in the barrel, and then I'll zero the scope so that the crosshairs are on that lamp as well. It isn't a precise way of zeroing the gun, but it will make sure that when we start the zeroing, we'll be on the paper, or every time I've done that so far, we've been on the paper. So that is lovely. Now the Redfield Revolution, I've told you before, just to tell you again, this is the AccuDot reticule. So you've got your standard duplex crosshairs, thick to thin, and you've got a small circle around the center of it, and then you've got a dot underneath. So that means different ranges for different guns, but I use this on air rifles a lot. And what that can mean with an air rifle is if you zero it at about 30 yards. The top of the circle, because it's closer, that can be around about 20 yards. The bottom of the circle is 38 yards, and then the dot underneath is 50 yards. It's a good way. It's not mil dots, but it's cleaner, and giving a circle in the center of your reticle means if you're shooting circular targets, not circular targets, your eye wants to make concentric circles, so you just adjust the zoom on the scope until the circle in the reticle is exactly the same size as the circle on your target at distance, and or just a little bit bigger, so it leaves a white line around the outside. It just makes it so much easier than trying to concentrate the cross onto the bullseye. But that's it. You will see me shoot this when my moderator has arrived, and it will be at my mate Den's place, I expect, because he's put, bless him, he's the one with the fishing lake. We all need a mate like Den, I'll tell you. He's put targets out at measured, lasered, 50 metres, 61 metres, 80 metres and 125 metres. All across his, I'd say his garden. It's a bit more than a garden, you know. But yeah, so he's itching to have a play with his 2.2, which is the CZ that he bought off of me. And I think we're going to have a damn good afternoon, and we'll video parts of that so you can see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you know anything about the FX PCPs and fixing that leak, or them in general, get in contact with me. I would love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, hit notifications. I'll see you all again next time. Goodbye.